December 26, 2024, China flew something that defies conventional design. No fanfare, no press conference, just leaked footage of a massive triangular aircraft that challenges every established rule of fighter engineering. 3 engines instead of 2, no tail whatsoever, a cockpit built for 2 pilots sitting side by side like a Cold War bomber. This is China's alleged J-36. And if the leaked specifications prove accurate, it's already forcing the Pentagon to rewrite their playbooks. But here's what makes this story compelling. Beijing said nothing. Complete radio silence. Instead, regular people with smartphones captured what might be a significant leap in combat aviation since the stealth revolution. The implications? If this aircraft performs as unverified reports suggest, China may have achieved a major breakthrough in 6th-generation fighter technology. And they did it in complete secrecy until civilians started posting videos online. Here's what happened. Test flights began December 24 near Chengdu, Sichuan. Grainy videos at first, then clearer photos, finally detailed imagery. The timing? December 26th coincides with Mao Zedong's birthday, symbolic in Chinese military culture, though whether intentional remains unclear. But the sightings multiplied, multiple test flights through May and June 2025, more detailed photographs. Each flight revealed capabilities that had Pentagon analysts working overtime. Much of what we know about the J-36 comes from unverified leaks and civilian footage, raising questions about disinformation. If true, it's a paradigm shift, but could also be a carefully staged tech demo. The latest images show the J-36 escorted by J-20s during early tests. The triangular aircraft drew gasps from onlookers because this design doesn't just deviate from conventional fighters, it rewrites the fighter design rulebook. Think about it. Every stealth fighter you know has tail arrangements: F-22, F-35, J-20, Su-57. They all follow the same basic formula. The J-36 looked at that formula and said no. But before we dive into why this design is revolutionary, we need to understand where it came from. The J-36 designation? Completely unofficial. China hasn't confirmed the name. Aviation watchers assigned it based on serial number markings spotted in leaked photos. It comes from Chengdu Aircraft Corporation, the same company behind China's J-20 stealth fighter. But CAC has emerged as something more than China's premier stealth developer. They've become innovators, pushing established boundaries. This project represents something far beyond their previous work. Chengdu Aircraft Corporation built the J-36 with intense secrecy that makes skunkworks look like an open house. Names don't matter when you're looking at potential design innovation. What matters is that Chengdu Aircraft Corporation challenged boundaries that Western engineers considered fixed parameters, and they're still not talking. Let's examine what makes this aircraft radically innovative from an engineering perspective. The airframe itself challenges conventional thinking. Tailless design eliminates major radar reflectors while removing primary flight control surfaces. Diamond double delta wings, no vertical stabilizers, no rudder. The J-36 solved traditional tailless control problems through advanced aerodynamic design and likely fly-by-wire systems managing stability. Just like the Northrop Grumman B-2 Spirit and B-21 Raider strategic stealth bombers have, but in a smaller package. The trijet configuration incorporates 2 side air intakes with carrot design and 1 distinctive dorsal intake. That dorsal hump represents sophisticated engineering that hides engineering faces from ground-based radars while feeding massive airflow to the third engine. Defense analysts suggest the J-36's design reflects a bold leap in stealth and sensor integration. Western aerospace insiders believe it could redefine multi-role combat. But here's where conventional thinking meets Chinese innovation. That side-by-side cockpit configuration, it indicates long-range fighter-bomber capability. When you see side-by-side seating in combat aircraft, such as the General Dynamics F111 family, the Grumman A6 Intruder, and the Sukhoi Su-34 Fullback, you're looking at something designed for complex operations across vast distances. The broad-nose selections feature large electro-optical aperture windows, suggesting advanced sensor integration meeting innovative aerodynamic solutions. The stealth capabilities, they're not just advanced, they're comprehensive. The tailless layout eliminates major radar reflectors, while the seamless Delta design optimizes both stealth and potential supercruise capability. Advanced radar scattering geometry suggests every edge, curve, and surface engineered to detect radar waves, minimizing detection across multiple spectrums rather than achieving complete invisibility. The design demonstrates cutting-edge, low observable technology aimed at advanced aerial combat and long-range operations. Beyond radar avoidance, it likely minimizes infrared signatures while maximizing engine durability through advanced composite construction and potentially innovative engine cooling technology. But the numbers tell an even more significant story. Based on analyst estimates from available imagery, the length is approximately 22.5 to 23 meters, or around 75 feet. The wingspan, that has a range of 19 to 24 meters, or around 62 to 82 feet. The wing area, that's estimated at 200 to 248 square meters. The maximum takeoff weight estimates suggest around 55,000 kilos, or over 120,000 pounds. Though these remain unconfirmed analyst calculations. The F-22 Raptor, that maxes out at 38,000 kilograms, or over 83,000 pounds. The J-20 is almost as heavy at 37,000 kilograms, or 82,000 pounds. If accurate, the J-36 could be roughly 45% heavier. This isn't typical fighter territory. These dimensions would make the J-36 noticeably larger than the J-20 and other fifth-generation fighters, blending fighter agility with capabilities that were previously impossible. But wait until you see the alleged weapons capacity. The aircraft appears slightly longer than the J-20, but significantly wider, approximately 50% wider based on photographic analysis. 3 weapons bays total, 1 massive central bay, 2 smaller flanking bays. The central weapons bay measures an estimated 7.6 meters long. That's potentially sufficient room for oversized munitions that could outrange anything in current arsenals. But what can this platform actually carry? The speculation keeps Pentagon analysts working overtime. Smart money suggests China's PL-17 long-range air-to-air missiles that can fly more than 400 kilometers, 250 miles to target airborne warning, aerial refueling, and maritime patrol aircraft, not to mention a significant air-to-ground capability. But with that estimated internal space, we're discussing potential ordnance combinations that expand beyond what's been possible before. This payload capacity, it could reshape power projection across the entire Pacific. But the real strategic disruptor, it isn't just what it carries, it's how invisible it remains while carrying it. Why 3 engines? What are they? Analyst speculation suggests WS-10 or WS-15 engines, though China hasn't confirmed speculations. Tri-engine setup would provide exceptional thrust, higher speeds, heavier payloads, perfect for long-range strike missions requiring sustained high performance. 3 engines, that also means redundancy. Lose 1 engine in combat? Well, you've got 2 left. Lose 2, you might still make it home. For long-range missions over hostile territory, that's not luxury, that's survival. But the real advantage? That isn't redundancy. It's what 3 engines might enable that 2 simply can't achieve. Sustained supersonic flight capability, potential supercruise without afterburners providing enduring high-speed capability, stealth at high subsonic speeds, the kind of performance that challenges current air defense strategies. That brings us to the most important question. What exactly is this platform supposed to do? Side-by-side seating suggests long-range missions. The massive weapons bay indicates strike capability. Stealth features suggest penetrating heavily defended airspace. Fighter-like performance indicates air-to-air combat. The answer? Well, it's probably all of the above. The J-36 appears designed as an airborne cruiser, a command and control platform that can fight its way to a target, deliver massive firepower, coordinate drone swarms, and fight its way home. It's not just a fighter, it's not just a bomber, it represents a potential new category of aircraft entirely. In a Taiwan conflict, the J-36 could potentially strike bases in Guam or Japan, disrupting US operations. Over the South China Sea, its stealth and range could dominate contested airspace. China's answer to the question, what if we built an aircraft that could do everything the Americans need 3 different planes to accomplish? For air superiority, it could engage multiple targets simultaneously with long-range missiles. For strike missions, it could penetrate denied airspace and deliver precision munitions. For command and control, it could coordinate complex multi-domain operations. But there's something even more significant happening here. Let's be clear about what the J-36 potentially represents strategically. The US Department of Defense's 2024 China Military Power Report highlighted China's ambition to challenge US air dominance through advanced fighter development. The J-36 could potentially make China among the first nations to field what analysts classify as 6th-generation combat aircraft capability, though this remains unverified. That's not just significant, it's potentially transformative for the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific. Current timelines suggest the J-36 might reach operational status before the US Next Generation Air Dominance program delivers its first operational aircraft. If China operationalizes the J-36 before NGAD leaves the prototype stage, the US could face its first real air dominance challenge in decades. Western programs like Tempest and FCAS lag in visible progress. The F-35 lacks the range of the J-36. That could provide China a window of technological superiority that might reshape regional power dynamics. For countries like Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and Australia, the J-36 represents a new level of potential threat, a very low observable aircraft that could strike targets deep inland or cut off access to the sea lanes or deny aerospace while coordinating swarms of unmanned systems changes every defensive calculation. And the development timeline reflects serious commitment. The development timeline, while impressive, follows established patterns for advanced prototypes. Work likely began around 2018, representing a 6-year development period, standard for advanced military aircraft. The December 2024 first flight represents systematic progress rather than unprecedented speed. December 2024, China surprised observers flying tailless prototypes from different manufacturers. March 2025, second confirmed flight with detailed photography. May and June 2025, regular test flights with sophisticated flight patterns. This timeline suggests either development has been underway longer than initially realized, or China's aerospace industry has achieved impressive manufacturing capabilities. The regular flight testing pattern, it suggests this isn't just a technology demonstrator. This appears to be a production intent prototype moving through systematic test phases. But major questions remain. Despite everything observed, crucial details remain unconfirmed. Is the J-36 primarily a fighter, bomber, or something entirely new? The evidence suggests innovative multi-role capability, but China hasn't disclosed operational concepts. What are the exact engine specifications, power output, fuel consumption, range, all remain classified or unverified. What weapons can it actually carry? The weapons bay appears substantial, but internal carriage requires specific integration work not yet demonstrated. Most importantly, is this a technology demonstrator or a production intent prototype? The regular flight testing suggests the latter, but confirmation requires observing production facilities and operational deployment. China's silence leaves analysts working with incomplete information, and that might be exactly what they want. China's J-36 has the international military community scrambling to understand its implications. The US Air Force's response has been notably measured publicly, but the J-36 is reportedly adding urgency to American 6th-generation fighter development. The NGAD program, already facing budget pressures, now confronts the possibility that China might achieve operational 6th-generation capability first. Regional allies are reassessing their defensive strategies. Japan's consideration of strike capabilities takes on new urgency when facing an aircraft that could potentially reach Tokyo from mainland China or deny Japan access to the sea lanes and skies while maintaining low observability. Australia's acquisition of nuclear submarines becomes more critical when those submarines might need to operate in an environment potentially dominated by advanced Chinese aircraft. So, what does the J-36 actually represent? China's bold statement that they're not just copying Western designs, they're potentially leapfrogging them. The unconventional configuration, mixing fighter and bomber characteristics, suggests Chinese engineers started with operational requirements and asked, what does modern air combat actually demand? The answer appears to be range, stealth, payload capacity, sensor integration, and the ability to coordinate complex multi-platform operations. Traditional fighter categories become meaningless when one aircraft can potentially do everything while coordinating unmanned systems. Whether this innovative approach succeeds or becomes an expensive experiment remains to be seen. Complex aircraft have complex problems. The more capabilities you integrate, the more systems can fail. But one thing is certain, the J-36 has forced every major military power to reconsider what 6th-generation air combat actually looks like. On Mao's birthday, China flew something that shouldn't exist, revealed only by civilian smartphones. Now, as the J-36 research and development continues, the question looms: how long until the J-36 challenges China's rivals' air superiority?